Two, three. Hey guys, we're back. Yesterday, I'm not sure what happened, but YouTube was really glitchy and I got knocked off. I couldn't finish um, Pergamos, which I really wanted to go in a lot more in depth because this is actually where the seat of Satan is. This is where he revolves around in. So, um, I'm gonna go over this again because it's very interesting. I think we left off at Sardis, which we'll go through that, but that one mainly is one that has a lot of commerce in it, a lot of mixed things in with it, and that's basically when you get a lot of things that are mixed in with things, different nations and in a commerce area, you're going to get a lot of different kinds of people and religions and I actually have not gotten my microphone yet, and I had been I bought that like 2 weeks ago. And the weird thing is, this fire thing too going on. Yesterday was just a strange day. I had gone outside and I had to work around in the garden because this big storm came in and blew all this debris around. And I got really sick. I started seeing like these flashes of lights and my head felt all weird, and I had a like this stain from the weeds, but it was like a purple stain on the palm of my hand, and I couldn't get off it. I don't know. I just know that there's a lot of toxins and stuff in that smoke, and when it like gets everywhere, it gets into the plants. So I have a garden, so now I just wash everything. It's just like just not a good thing, and I hope it clears up. But today I want to say we could possibly get cut off because there's another storm. It's a thunderstorm coming in. Hi, Deb. I don't know who all is in here, but welcome. And again, sorry about yesterday. Just so many glitches going on. And so we're going to go over the seed of Satan, and we're going to really see what that is. So you go back to Revelation chapter 2. And where are you? Chapter 12. And yesterday I kind of went into it a little bit. We went over to Revelation chapter 14. Where did you go? I feel so unorganized today. Just been a really busy day. Yeah. No, it was Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 14 goes through a lot too. So, here we go. Revelation chapter 2, verse 12. This is the third church. Let's see. I'm just going to say hi. Oh, that's okay. I don't know. It's just being very glitchy. I don't know. YouTube is just being glitchy. Okay. And to the angel of the church in Pergamos write, those things saith he which hath the sharp sword and the two edges. That's the word of God, and that's Jesus himself. I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. They're really involved in. And thou holdest fast my name and hast not denied. So they're fooled, obviously, but they're thinking this is the true Messiah. My faith, even in those days wherein Antipas, which I really believe this is where Enoch comes in. Because what I had seen was Satan being as not the false prophet, but as the peace giver, was in this building, this white stone building, and over next to that was like this group of people, and they were priests and people like who had authority, but they were more in the church rule. And in that area, there was a lot of commotion, and it was like something suddenly came in there. And meanwhile, the Islamic people were fighting, and it just kept escalating and escalating. And then there was another commotion like thing going on, and then the deadly wound. So the cut to their foreheads, and their heads fell off, but I really think that is Enoch. I really, really do. And yesterday we went into Elijah, and then when we get to chapter 11 with the two witnesses, I'll tie it all together with Moses and Elijah. Okay, so my faithful martyr, Enoch, let's just insert that, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. And I saw that same church, those people going to that white stone building and opening those heavy doors and going in. But those were the only people that were doing that. And there's only maybe one or two, and they were these priest-like looking people. So I really think this is what it is. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam. And this is basically the preachers that teach for money or do anything for money, and basically they kind of forget why they're preaching, who taught Balak to cast stumbling blocks before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. I was going to say too, also during that time, the symbolic Mary of the Catholic Church holding the child came up into and stood in front of me. Meanwhile, all these people are fighting. The kind of a civil war between all of them. And then the cut to the cut on the forehead and people bleeding and stuff. When that happens, then the man who is in that stone white building comes out and heals the wound, and then Mary walks over to him and joins him. So we really, really have to watch the Catholic Church, because they play a big part of this. And even before then, because you will see, I will guarantee it, you will see the Catholic Church joining all the denominational churches together, and then they'll be the one that is the authority for all these other ones. And the Pope himself will be announcing the warnings that will be coming about the Messiah coming. But first, this celestial body will have to cross over, and then the new era, the new golden age. I'm gonna check here. See how many people are in here. Hi, Album. Good to see you. Okay. So I want to go back over to chapter 13 again, where we were yesterday on this same thing. And just see how it rises and how it correlates. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea. This is the beast system. And the sea is people, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. So these are the authority that he has. The horns, the crowns the horns signify the authority. The crowns is the given, how do you say that? They are more of the 10 fallen angel kings that come with him. So these will be placed up, and men kings will be taken out of the way. So the Satan with his 10 kings will be rising up at that time. But he won't be proclaiming that he is God at this time. He's just going to do the peace treaty. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. So we said yesterday, these are the Kenites. You can go into Deuteronomy chapter 32, and these are the spots. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. That's Roosh. So we really have to watch Roosh. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. It rips and tears. But also, that's Judah. So that's Israel. Well, the tribe of Judah. But Christ is from Judah and Levi. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and a great authority. So the dragon is Satan, and he has different departments, but the same name. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. So this is the wound to the beast system. And his deadly wound was healed. This is when Satan comes out of that white building and he gives the peace treaty. But not only that, it's with prosperity. So this is what the dragon is giving the power to that department that he's going to be playing at that part. And all the world wondered after the beast. The beast system, how can this one person do all these things and fix the world's economy and everything? Because nobody has been able to do that before. Okay. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemy. So it's the same, it's still Satan. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. So he's going to say he is God at that point. And that's the blasphemy. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. This is basically the 2 witnesses. He has power over them to kill them, but not only that, when this one world order all gets together, you're going to go back into this, to Babylon. You're going to become part of that, and there is no escape. and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, this false Messiah, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So this means that the 7,000 very elect, their purpose is to preach the word of God when they're delivered up, and the Holy Spirit actually is the one speaking, but it's a spiritual type of, just like how Satan will do it. He'll have his evil spirits influencing the world to believe a lie. But Satan himself doesn't have all the authority. And when the 7,000 are being delivered up, the true authority speaks, and it opens the eyes and the ears of those who hear it at that time. And it'll be broadcast, being made examples of, basically, but it'll turn around on them, and a lot of people will turn around and say, oh, that is the false Messiah. So from the foundation of the world, so those are the predestined 7,000 very elect, and all the others, they have free will and they have the ability to make a choice. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Everybody's going to be going back into Babylon. Just like Daniel, he was in Babylon with the others, and they were basically risen up into power. This time for us, we'll be delivered up to do our purpose, basically, because time will be very, very short at that. 2.5 months, that's all he gets as saint claiming to be God. So things are going to happen really fast. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as the dragon. This is basically him rising up, saying he is God. I am God. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. So the one who went in and healed the wound, it's the same person. Now he steps into this role, and he says, I am God, and goes into Jerusalem and claiming. And he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. So it's not, anybody that's going to be killed. It's a spiritual death. And it's Satan himself playing these different roles. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Satan again, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as the world not worship the image of the beast should be killed, should be delivered up. So just like in Babylon and Nebuchadnezzar, he took out this image, and he forced everybody to worship it, and then Daniel and the others were like, we're not going to, and they got in a lot of trouble, which resulted in them being put in the fire and the furnace. And but God always protected them every step of the way. So it's like us as well, same exact thing. Not exact, I mean, it's an example of what we'll be going through. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. This is your knowledge or lack of knowledge. When we go into more of the book of Revelation, you will see that 144,000 are sealed, and the four winds are not loosed until they're all sealed. So just as God has his own mark, Satan has his own mark, and it's a spiritual mark. I mean, people talk about chips and things like that being placed in your hand or in your forehead, but it's a spiritual thing. If you work in it and help it along, if you worship this beast, which is Satan worship, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this is the time when you're really going to want to kind of save up for that time specifically. Although, you know, when they got out of Egypt, God provided them with manna and quail. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And I'm sure that the two witnesses at the time will be able to intercede for us as well. It's going to look quite different than it is now. And everything that we see now is going to be changing drastically. This economy that we see now, the way things work, everything will be going back to gold and silver, precious metals. This fiat money is going to be taken out of the way. It's going to look like good and fair, when in all actuality we've been duped for so long, especially when America got onto the fiat money where nothing backed it, and the only thing that kept it going was faith in it. We stopped making things here and trading with other people and imports and exports. So we became more service-based. So when the dollar does drop in it, well, and we're heading into it, that's why what you need to now is really get the things that you need, because what's happening is you can still buy things. The demand isn't there as much as it was before. And so there is less of it. So the price goes higher, and not only that, but the amount of money that they're printing. It's just, I wouldn't say anything's going to happen right now, but I'd say after the election. So, and I'm pretty sure Trump is going to be the one. But after that, I mean, I'm sure it's going to go pretty fast. People will start losing their homes and things like that. So things are just going to move along really fast. And then the earthquake. And it just all goes downhill after that. So Pergamos is a pretty big church. We also went into Thyatira, which is more of the flyaway doctrine, and God was definitely not happy with that church. But Pergamos, I believe to be coinciding or is the Catholic Church. So watch that church regardless. They're the big ones. They're the ones that are, behind the scenes. Let's see. Let's see. Hi, Oystein. And Daniel. Hi, Daniel. So that was really what I wanted to go over with Pergamos. And just really look into it, because this is where you want to keep your eyes on. Your eyes and ears as a watchman. And I'll tell you, once it gets going, it's gonna get going. But we're just seeing just the slowdown of the market. Say, for example, like one of the things, when this CV thing hit, you could buy an airplane ticket like for really cheap. But what happened now is they've slowed down the amount of traffic. So now if you want to buy a ticket to go somewhere, it could cost you $1,800, where it only costed you like $200 or $300. So traveling is going to get harder. It's just the housing right now. The cities are emptying out because people are just like, oh my gosh, we don't want to be in with all these riots and things like that. So they're leaving. And so all these rents are going lower, trying to adjust to get people to come back into those cities. And those who have to stay in there, businesses are leaving. What, is going to leave these cities desolate? Honestly, I mean, when I told you nothing will be the same, I mean, we are really seeing the decline. And what I would do, if you can get out of the banks now, do it. If you can buy gold, buy some coins, so that at least you have some money when we go into the new system. I really, but I think as well, the two witnesses are going to be really feeding us and looking over us and things like that. So I don't think it's like a big, huge deal, but, just have some store up, something. I'm telling you, there is just so much going on now. So we're just building up. After the election, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen. And at that point, just hold on. And you're going to see the riots going back up. And then, there'll be some sort of resolve. But as you saw already this year, I mean, the fires themselves, they've caught people who were starting them. So I'm sure like the majority of them were, it is too, just this lawlessness. And our leaders, our fearful leaders, aren't doing anything about it. So, guys, it's a problem. And we're just going to see more and more of that. I think it was 2 Thessalonians. How people will be. Is it 2 Thessalonians? It's been a busy day today. I'm trying. most of these we've gone over. Malachi. I think it's actually in Timothy. But it just talks about how people are going to be and the fact that you will continue to see this deep decline, you know. People around you are going to just change as we get closer to this. I don't know. Where'd that go? I'm sorry. I feel so unorganized today. I had to get like a whole bunch of stuff done. Oh, here we go. It was in Timothy. And this is how people are going to be. Where is that Timothy? Okay, here we go. So this is chapter 4. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I had this all, and then I had a friend come over, and we were talking. Well, here's kind of the part of it, I guess. Now the Spirit speaketh expressively that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. So when Satan is standing there claiming to be God, these spirits come out of the Euphrates. And that's what it's talking about. Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. That's the two-edged sword. Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats. It's the traditions of men, which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Anyway, shoot. I'm sorry, guys. I had it all together. Oh, here we go. This is 2 Timothy, verse 3. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful and unholy, without natural affection. So it's like, I can even see it now, like love lost. Like, people don't care as much about people anymore. And I don't know if you've seen that too, but it's weird. Truce breakers, false accusers, slanderers, no control, fierce. Look at like the Antifa and all these groups, you know, coming in. Despisers of those that are good, hating on Christians. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godlessness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. So traditions of men will really do that to you, where, you know, you miss the whole point of who is behind all this, the word of God, or is it what this person says or that person says? Or, you know, there's just It's a crazy, crazy world. And I can hear the storm coming now. So, my microphone still hasn't got here, so I'm being very close here. And trying to stay as close as possible. But I'm gonna make this one really short because there's a storm coming, and I really think I'll probably get knocked off. I always lose some sort of power when these things come, so I will be back tomorrow on Friday. We're going to finish up the last book, or the last end of chapter 3, and then go into Philadelphia will be in there, and we'll go further into what you have to look for, and we'll go into Ezekiel, into the millennium, and give you a better understanding of what waits for you, when you do your purpose. So anyway, guys, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same channel, same place. Hi, Roxanne. Let's see. I'm having a hard time getting connection for these. I'm sorry, Roxanne. Yeah, I'm surprised I was able to get on today. And I don't know, it's crazy. I was talking to my friend, my neighbor friend, and she's having problems. So it's the service itself. I don't know if it's like the fires that are causing this or what. But you're welcome, Daniel. That's nice to see you. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and be well.